Hey, what's going on? It's Sachi, and I'm taking another mental health break. It has been ridiculous as what's going on in my head, but I didn't want to leave you guys without another episode, so I decided to go through the archives and pick out one of my favorite practice episodes that I hope you guys enjoy, talking about horror movies. And yeah, man, I'll see you guys next week, hopefully. Nah, I'm going to give you guys a new episode. Um, yeah, so enjoy. Peace.
Thank you for checking out Late Night Laz. Here's your host, Laz.
Okay, what up, people? What up, what up, what up? You are now listening to the first episode of Late Night Labs. And you're probably asking yourself, why? Why does this dude have a podcast? Why does he have another one? I'm gonna tell you why. Because I wanted to do something solo. I wanted to do something that was, more on the side of the more of the things that I, enjoy talking about besides like, politics and everything going on in the world. I'm a big fan of what I'm saying. I'm a big fan of everything entertainment related, you know what I'm saying? Whether it's art, music, movies, poetry, dance, whatever the case may be. I'm a big fan of it. So I decided to take my love of all things entertainment and turn it into a podcast where, I could probably bring in other creatives, other people that are in the entertainment space, and we can just have discussions about all things entertainment. But for now, for the first episode, to me, I don't really have a theme or much of much of you know what I'm saying, much of much of anything to go off of basically at this point. But what I do have is, for the first episode, is something that I've wanted to talk about for a long time, but I don't really have the time to, is my list of the 20, my opinion, this is my opinion, of the 25 greatest horror movies of all time. We're gonna go through it, and we're gonna discuss, we're gonna talk. Well, it's gonna be me, and I'm just kind of gonna go into greater detail about what it all is. But yo, I'm hoping that whoever's listening to this is enjoying it. Wherever I decide to put it up on, rate it 5 stars, like it, share it, show it to, the people around you, and then hop into discussion as well. We really just gonna get into it. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna talk about the greatest horror movies of all time. I'm a big fan of horror. I don't know who isn't. I honestly don't know who isn't, but it's something about a horror movie that's kind of, I don't know. Sometimes it's based in realism, and then sometimes it's like really outlandish. So it just doesn't it doesn't stick. But it's just something about a horror movie that just takes me to a whole different plane, which I absolutely love. So this right here is, we're gonna start off with number 25, and I'm not gonna really go into great detail with all of them. Some of this is just like self-explanatory, because come on, like, it's horror movies, they're fucking fantastic. But like this right here, like for the songs that probably might be outlandish, I'll probably go into it a lot more. But for this right here, let's just hop into it. Number 25, I'm gonna hit y'all with it right now. Sinister. Why Sinister, last? I'm gonna tell you why. Because the whole element of that movie is like, bro, you move into a new house, and you see something, and this is kind of like, it's kind of cliche. It's like you move into a new house and then you just see something creepy, right? But Sinister just takes it to a whole different level. Like in most movies, when someone moves into a new house that a murder done happened in, cue Amityville Horror, or what is it? It's a few movies that have that element as well. But like Sinister just takes it to a different level. Like they're really showing the demon, forcing himself on the kid. Not like forcing himself like that, but like really like latching himself to the kids in general, to like do his bidding and stuff like that. And the whole and watching the tapes and stuff like that, and just the demon creeping around. It kept me on the edge of my seat watching that movie. It kept me on my toes. It didn't really it didn't really give me that many jumps. It didn't really give me that many look over your shoulder moments, but it's like it kept me engaged, and I love that shit. I love that. All right, number 24, my Super Psycho Sweet 16. Like my Super Psycho Sweet 16. All right. Now this one I don't want to go into greater detail on, but like, cause like if you grew up watching MTV, you know my Super Sweet 16. But if you grew up, if you around, I was around probably 15, 16 when this came out. This movie holds a special place in my heart because it was the first horror movie I watched after a long life of being terrified of it. So it was the first horror movie I watched where I was just like, bro, I like this. So like the whole like, oh, her dad was the killer, and you know what I'm saying, they reopened the roller rink where the gruesome murder happened. It's like, bro, that movie is nostalgic in all aspects of the world. Like if you sit down, I don't know if MTV is ever gonna do this or ever gonna like re-air that movie ever again, but it's like if they decide to like go back in the Rolodex or go back in the timeline and like and play that movie around Halloween time or whatever the case may be, it's like, bro, like I will sit there and I'll watch it back to back, whether it's my Super Psycho Sweet 16 Part 1, 2, or 3. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna watch it because even though like, it's MTV, but the acting is good and the kills are good, especially in the first one. Like especially in the first one, there's no way that you can watch that movie. And this is when I first got back into it. There's no way that you could watch that movie and like there are scenes where it's just like, bro, this is mad creepy. Like in the beginning, this is why I put it on the list, is because of the beginning scene where the initial like gruesome murder happens, where he murders the rude boyfriend and the girlfriend, and the fact that he killed the boyfriend, no, he hit the girlfriend or the boyfriend, and he was standing, the killer was just standing over there in like the darkest portion of the roller rink, and then rolled the bloody skate out there in the light. It's like, bro, that's next level creepy. How is that? How that's the creepiest? That's so creepy. It's so weird. But I digress because I can go on about this for hours, and I want to keep this probably under 45 minutes because no one wants to sit there and listen to just me talk for like an hour or so. But moving on, number 23 is Orphan. Like this is one of those self-explanatory movies. Like, bro, if you haven't seen Orphan, I don't know what to tell you. Just watch it. Just watch it. It's that good. It's that good. I'm not going to ruin it for anybody who have. And if you haven't watched it, I don't know what to tell you again. I think it came out in like 2009, 2008. I'm not sure. Let me see. One second. Just like that movie. I'm like, dude, that movie is 2009. That movie is so based in not I for a while I didn't think it was based in realism until I saw an actual news story. That's real. That shit's real. This happens. It really, really happens. So I'm not going to go into much. It's Orphan, or just watch it. Just watch it. It's that good. I'm not going to ruin it. I'm not going to spoil it. Just watch it. Number 22 is Cloverfield. Now, I don't know what anybody else feels about like monster horror movies like Godzilla and King Kong and all that shit, but like Cloverfield took the what made the Blair Witch Project great, which is like the found footage aspect of the found footage aspect of horror, and then added a Godzilla like element into it. Now, it makes sense. What made me pick this movie, bro, is like it's all destruction, right? It's all destruction, and you rarely get to see the monster. That's the thing. You rarely get to see the creature, and that to me is the best part of it. Like, keep it a mystery. You know what I'm saying? Like, keep it in the same way that, and it's not on the list, but I'm gonna say it like in the same way that the original Friday the 13th kept the killer's identity, like that big reveal was Jason's mom, and it's like they kept it so under wraps that it made you want to continue watching to see what it was. So like when I was watching Cloverfield and I never saw the creature until like those split seconds to where like you would see a claw, you would when the camera had fell and then you saw the creature's face looking down at the camera, like bro, it was terrifying. So and near the end, like when you see that people are dumping toxic waste into the what is it, what's that ocean by in New York? Like just dumping toxic waste into the water, and then that was months before the destruction happened. So it's like, oh man, it is that movie, like what to me what made it great was combining the found footage, the found footage era of horror movies, and then adding a monster element to it that has not been done since. Like even with the Cloverfield paradox, or what was it? It was something Cloverfield Lane with Mary Elizabeth Winstead. But like, bro, that has not been done yet. Besides Clover, like from what I've seen, it has not been done besides Cloverfield, and they did it perfectly. You know what I'm saying? I feel like if someone decides to do it again, they have to do it better than Cloverfield did, or they just shouldn't do it at all. 21, Prom Night. I'm not going to tell you which year. I'm not going to tell you which am I talking about, the remake or am I talking about the original? I'm not going to tell you. Just Prom Night. Watch them both. Build your opinion. But me personally, it's on my list. It's number 21. It's not high on the list. It's relatively low on the list. I just like it. I just like it. There's no rhyme or reason. It's just I just think it's a good watch. Like it's some movies are just like you sit there and you zone out and it's mind numbing. You can just enjoy the film. This is one of those films. For me, this is one of those films. Number 20 is Hostel. Now, not everybody is a fan of Eli Roth. Quite frankly, I was talking about like when we were discussing this on the Word on the Ski podcast with Victor, my brother. Victor has made a good point. It was like Eli Roth just really goes for the shock factor, and that's true. There's a whole lot of blood and gore in this movie. So if you have a very weak stomach, I would not recommend it, because you will vomit. You will vomit. Like it's in the same vein of like, people go backpacking or people go to a different country and then chaos ensues. You know what I'm saying? Like same thing with like Human Centipede, or like what is it? It's a few movies where it's like people go back. What was that one? Oh man, what was that movie? Summer something. Had Florence Pugh in it, bro. Like it was on the list. Y'all, anyone who will be listening knows exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, number 19 is Dead Silence. Now I'm gonna talk about this one. Dead Silence is number 19 because it's not the script. It could have been written better. It was shot beautifully for the time. I think it came out like 2006, 2007, right? But this right here is exactly what a horror movie should have been at the time. Like I said, it could have been written better, but it was shot as good as it could have been shot. Now, what made it get on my list is this. The jump scares are amazing. There's nothing. These jump scares in this movie make you sit there and think, wow, I'm a pussy. It makes you sit there and think, wow, I am a pussy. Like there was a scene where the old man who initially dodged death at the hands of Mary Shaw when he was a kid, he thinks he hears his wife under the house, and like a moron, like a full-blown moron, this dude goes under the house and continues to hear his wife's voice. Bro, you know that you saw her when you were a child, and this dude, he's sitting there and he's shivering, he is shaking. This fool turns on a flashlight, and who does he see? Mary Shaw. then that jump scare got me as an adult. I saw it when I was in New York as a youth. It was a preview. And I just couldn't watch it. So I watched it as an adult. And when I tell you that jump scare got me, like it got me out of I was like, bro, I'm not, no. It was a lot, that movie. It was a lot, but it's a good watch. It's a good watch. I recommend it. Number 18, not really gonna dive too much into this. Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Beginning. As many reboots as this series have had, I can tell you this much. This reboot, this remake right here is the one that's actually worth watching. Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Beginning. It will. I don't say it'll change anything about the story, but it'll make you look at everything from a new, I would say, like, perspective of it. Not like a different perspective of the family, but like a different view of the origin of Leatherface. I enjoyed the 2019 Leatherface movie, not as much as this though. I did not enjoy the recent Netflix revival of Texas Chainsaw. It was awful. But this one right here is a watch. It's worth it. It's worth the watch. Like, just go check it out. This is the prequel that is, or the remake that is actually worth a viewing. Number 17 is Alien. That's it. I'm not typing. It's Alien. You loon. Like that. There's nothing else to say. It's Alien. Like, bro, if at this point in your life, I'm 27, but at this point in your life, you have not heard, I don't know what to tell you. Like, there's nothing else to say. Go to YouTube. It's literally a time capsule. Go to YouTube. You know, during Halloween, Walmart usually has like a pack of all the horror movies in a collection box. Go watch it. Like, just watch it, bro. Sigourney Weaver carries every single movie and is visually stunning. Just go enjoy it. Number 16 is Get Out. Jordan Peele at his best. Like, that's his first one. That's his baby. It cannot be touched. That movie is, and this might be a reach on my part, it is a cinematic treasure. That's it. That's it. Right there. Number 15 is Halloween 4. Now, I don't know if I should dive into this or not, but I just might. Halloween 4 is the best revival that the Halloween series could have got. I'm going to tell you why. Because, and you didn't even ask, but I'm going to tell you why. Because when Jamie Lee Curtis and John Carpenter walked away from the Halloween series, they came up with this out of nothing. And they turned it into a cinematic masterpiece. They completely butchered it with Halloween 5. But Halloween 4, coming out the gate after taking time off and, you know, trying to just find the best story they can possibly come up with. And this right here, with the introduction of Jamie Lloyd, this right here, it was new. This was the first Halloween movie that I saw as a kid. And it stuck to me because the way that Donald Pleasance and a young Danielle Harris, just the screen, every time they were on screen, and the silent killer as well, every time that they were on screen, you felt like you were glued to it. You watched it and you felt everything that was going on in there. Especially if you sit down, you put your phone to the side, and you just watch it, you will see every bit of just every emotion, every raw emotion, every subtle detail in the script. You will Easter eggs. You see all of it there. So it's like that movie holds a special place in my heart, and not a lot of people like it. I understand. But it was the revival that Halloween needed. You know what I'm saying? And it got butchered after that, but it was the one that they needed, and that one does not get touched. That one does not get touched. There will be no Halloween slander whatsoever around me, but that movie right there does not get touched. If you're gonna slander one, slander Halloween 6. That was ass. But number 14 is Urban Legend. I'm not. It's campy. It's horror. It's so unbelievably cringe. It is a bad 90s horror movie, but it's so bad, but it's watchable. It's in the so bad it's good category. That's how I look at it. It's so bad that it's good. When a Stranger Calls, 2000 from, this is both the original and the remake. I love them both. So creepy, so strange, so weird. It's like, bro, why didn't you check the children? It's like, bro, what the creepy, but I love it. So creepy, but it's so good. Black Christmas. This is number 17. Is Black Christmas? No, sorry. Number number 12. Black Christmas. So good. So good. In the same way that I look, and not the remakes of Black Christmas, the original Black Christmas. In the same way that I hold, what is it? When a Stranger Calls. I hold that in the same hand that I hold with a Stranger Calls. It's it's so 80s. It's so 80s. It's so way back then, but it's so good. It's so for that time, but it holds up in every aspect of it. Like, you can sit there and watch it and still be completely creeped out by it. That's how I'm looking at that. That's what that is. Number 11 is Halloween H2O. Again, another revival. Okay, and this is when Jamie Curtis returns. And this is the only reason why I'm putting this on that list, is because initially this was supposed to be Jamie Lee Curtis's last outing as Laurie Strode. But what they did with this movie, they made it a reintroduction into the character of Michael Myers. It was no longer the Korn storyline. Like, he was just a cold-blooded killer. He just wanted to kill off the rest of his bloodline. Why? I don't know. I didn't ask him. But, like, it took us back to the original, like, 1978 version of Michael Myers. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't really no supernatural element to it. It's like, yo, he's a killer. Like, that's just kind of it. Like, that was what brought me back into it. And there was so many creepy shots while watching this movie. Like, it really makes, like, I love a horror movie with a slight sense of realism to it. Like, that right there is what this movie is to me. Like, yeah, it's kind of like, you know, it's kind of like a PTSD. It shows like the PTSD that she's feeling, but it's like, I don't know how to describe it, but it's one of the remakes of Halloween that is actually watchable, that you can sit there and be like, okay, yeah. I wouldn't say this about the Rob Zombie versions, but I'm definitely saying it about this one. Number 10 is Scream 2. I am not putting the original Scream on this list. I did not, but so take that out of your wish list. I'm saying Scream 2 is because the introduction of the newer characters. This is what I enjoy by this. It really just showed that, you know, not only the what is it? I don't want to say PTSD again, but it really shows that part of what the Woodsboro Massacre did to the characters of the Scream franchise. So with the introduction of like characters like Con Weary and Mickey and fucking and what is it, Stu's mom, you know what I'm saying? It just hits different. But her boyfriend was such a cuck. Her boyfriend was such a cuck, dude. Like, oh my. But the what I enjoy more was like the first kill of the movie is what brought me back to it. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not. I have the original Scream trilogy, sitting on my dresser right now. You know what I'm saying? And number two, it just, I don't know. To me, it's better than three. Not as good as one, but it holds its own. It could be its own solid movie, and that's why I put it here. Number nine is Valentine. Early 2000s, very campy horror film. It's not a memorable movie, but I have it here is because of the nostalgia that this movie brings. The cast is good, right? And the twist at the end is another reason why it's here. If you haven't seen Valentine, again, I recommend Valentine. Um, let's see. Number eight is House of Wax. 2005. Now, I put my notebook down. I put the list down because let me tell you about this fucking movie. House of Wax 2005 has to be the best and worst horror movie I've ever seen in my life. Why is it the best and worst? I'm gonna give you two reasons why. It's the best. One, it's because of the gruesomeness and brutalness of the kills. That's one. Number two, it's because of the way that the story progressed. You can see who's gonna go, you can see who's not gonna make it, and when you feel like you have it all, like you feel like you have it all like figured out, and then boom, the twist happens. That twist at the end, boy, listen. That twist at the end will have you thinking twice about anybody you meet in a rural town. There's a reason why I don't go on road trips, especially backwoods road trips. Movies like this, okay? Now, two reasons why it's the worst. The acting is awful. It is awful. It is bad. I don't know who wrote this, but it is terrible. And I'm not even a movie critic yet, but this movie is just the script is awful, right? And what got me as well is the pacing. That's two. The pacing, it could have. I know it's a horror movie, but slow it down, bro. Like let us There was no character development. There was no real way to actually enjoy it, story wise. But I liked it. That's why to me it's the best and the worst. Number 7 is It. I'm not going to explain it. I shouldn't have to. Tim Curry. That's it. Nightmare on Elm Street 5. That's Freddy Krueger. Baby. Freddy Krueger. All right. It's Freddy motherfucking Krueger. You take that and you run with that. Nightmare on Elm Street 5. Now, Nightmare on Elm Street 3 is superior, but 5 to me stands out a lot more. All right. Now we down to the top 5. Real quick, I want to shout out to anybody who is listening and supporting. I appreciate it. And, like I said, rate it 5. Like it, share it, to anybody who likes entertainment, you know what I'm saying? There's going to be more than just horror movies. I'm trying to talk about music and do, reviews of albums and stuff like that. I really want to, you know what I'm saying? I can dive into the news of the week or news of the day, whatever the case may be, but I really want to keep this, a little different from everything else, you know what I'm saying? So, let's just get back into it. This is a top 5. All right, the top 5 of mine greatest horror movies of all time. Number 5 is Sleepaway Camp. Sleepaway Camp, ladies and gentlemen. I'm talking about the most campiest, cheesy camp horror movie ever. Like just hopping on the coattails of the Friday the 13th franchise. And let me tell you, it is good. This is a top tier campy horror movie. Even if you think like, oh, it's not. No. It is the movie that is. You have bad campy movies, but if you have a campy movie, but it's still watchable, That's top tier right there. This is a top tier because like not even a twist at the end, right? But every kill, every shot, even the score of the movie is like, bro, it is so 80s. And you love it because it draws you in. It's that, man, watch it. Watch it. That's it. It's that motherfucking good. Like, bro, like that. I don't want to get. If you haven't seen Sleepaway Camp in the same way that I said, my super sweat, like just watch it. Just is it will have you thinking, wow, I just popped my knee in my phone. But like, it will have you thinking the entire time, like, dog, this is wild. And then the twist at the end, you're gonna be like, wow, you did not expect this coming. You didn't. Honestly. Number 4, Devil. All right. Now, M. Night Shyamalan is a great, great director. He has had a whole lot of duds, but this one right here is without a doubt one of his best works. Don't say Signs. Don't say a movie where bro say, I see dead people. I don't give a fuck. This one right here, right? It with all the discussions of good and evil and elements of the Bible and Jesus and stuff like that. I grew up in the church. So with a movie called Devil, I'm just like, oh, this is gonna be ridiculous. But like the way that it all goes down with the trust and the distrust, and then again with the twist at the end. This was a twist that M. Night Shyamalan did, where it's just like, bro, I really did not see this shit coming. Because the pacing of the movie, it worked. To me, this is top tier M. Night Shyamalan. This is good. This is his gold status right here. This is the movie where he should hold this movie at the highest regard. Like, even to me, it's an underappreciated gem, but it's also top tier. You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, that's what that is. Top 3. All right, are you ready for this? Because I am not. All right, now I am going to explain each one for a very short amount of time, but at the end of this, if you want to put in the comments what your top 5 is or top 3, most definitely do that. All right, so here we go. Top 3 and number 3. Final Destination. What? Yep, Final Destination, boy. Let me tell you why. This movie made me never want to do nothing again. All right, first, the plane. The plane blew up. Come on now. And then you escape death? And that nigga won't leave you alone? I escaped you once, bro. Let me be. Nah, bro. Death on your ass. He gonna get you. On what though? Like the fucking the shower strangulation scene, bro. That was wild. Then the teacher with the knives falling on her. What was it? Sean William Scott's character getting, I think he didn't get dismembered by the sign, but it impaled him, and that was wild. And then at the end, bro, at the end they thought it was done. This is why I like the movie. Like, I like this movie is because no matter where they turned, no matter what they kept trying, but they just couldn't escape it. This was the one serial killer you couldn't escape from. This movie was saying, bro, no matter how hard you try, you're trying to cheat death, bro. It's not gonna fucking happen. That's that shit. This movie right here, bro, it makes you think. It don't even make you think. It make you paranoid. And I'm already paranoid, so this makes you paranoid. And it's not even that I love it. It's shit. These top 3 movies aren't even gold status. They're God status. This is a God status movie. This movie should be held in the highest of highest regards. I'm saying, bro. All right. Number 2, The Strangers. And boy, when I tell you, senseless violence has never scared me so much until I watched this movie. Honestly. I swear to you, senseless violence has never, ever made me think, like look over my shoulder more when I'm walking at night, or more when I'm at home, or more like dude, this movie just hits in it's such a it hits in such a different way. I promise you, man. It is so scary. Like even if you like, I thought Final Destination made me like paranoid as a youth, but like this one just makes me paranoid as an adult because there's no rhyme or reason. There's no rhyme or reason. It's just murder, senseless violence. That's all it is. Like there's no other way around it. Like they don't have like in the ending scene when it says, "Why are you doing this to us?" It's because you're home. That's what she said. It's because you were home. That's it, bro. Like, bruh, there's no rhyme or oh my god, bro. That movie is top tier horror right there. Oh my god, top tier horror, bro. All right. Now we down to number one. Are you ready for this reveal? Because I know I am. Because I'm tired. This is late night last. I am sleepy. Number one is Halloween. The original. From 1978. The original John Carpenter Halloween. I'm putting my notebook down because this right here was this is the Magna Carta. This is the holy grail of horror movies. This is the graduation. This is the, what is it? This, I don't know, what was Drake's second? What was Drake's third album? This is the Nothing Was the Same. This is the Take Care. This is, you know what I'm saying? This movie right here is cinema in an era where every horror movie that was coming out, right? Every horror movie that was coming out was so similar, and this one was no different than any other one at the time, but it stood out. Now, this Michael Myers right here, before Halloween 2, where it's like, oh, her brother, yada yada you. This one right here, escaped mental patient, right? Murdered his sister as a youth. Just attacks babysitters on Halloween. That was the original premise of it. Now, even if it sounded basic, you see the way that it's shot, the score of the film, the lack of blood, but the intensity of the kills. You can, even if it's just a movie, you feel the enjoyment that is being got from killing these people. You see that. I don't even. One scene in particular stands out to me. I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna let y'all go because it is getting pretty late. But I'm gonna say this: the scene to where the boyfriend comes back from the van from getting the beers, and he is dressed as a ghost. And Michael Myers comes out the closet and stabs him against the wall, and he is there, and he is bleeding, and he is shaking, he is off the ground. And a masked figure just watches him and looks at him. Tell me that right there is not how a horror movie should be shot. I don't need a mental connection between the main killer and then a character in the movie. I don't need a family connection. This right here was exactly the way a horror movie should have been shot, and John Carpenter and Deborah Hill did it so good at the time, and that movie stands up, holds up. And if this movie was just a standalone film that came out in 1978 and no other movie was made after that, no Halloween 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, no H2O, no Resurrection, No, none of the Rob Zombie joints. None of the new ones that came out now. If this one would have just been, if it would have been just this one, it still would have been regarded today as one of the best horror movies, in my opinion, ever to be made. That's all I'm gonna say about that. That is how good this movie is. Every movie that I have listed today, I highly recommend that y'all watch. I really do. And if you are not a fan of horror movies, I have a lot of other movies that I watch as well. We're gonna dive into that and a lot more. And everything music, entertainment related. We're gonna dive into it on every other episode of Late Night Lies. But I appreciate every single one of y'all that have listened. Thank you so much. Please like and share. Show this to everybody. This is the first episode of many, I am hoping. Yeah, man, this has been Late Night Lies, man. I appreciate all y'all. Peace out.